some Saturday night light painting, or late night painting if you want to call it that. Came back to do some Marvel Crisis Protocol stuff. We haven't done a painting video in a while. I'm so sorry that my videos have been sparse and not around. It's been just a very busy week. We're going to get back on track. Videos are going to come out hot and heavy. Going to start doing some more gaming videos. Going to start doing some other stuff. But I'm going to do a quick late night video, and I wanted to start off doing my man, Ant-Man. We're going to be doing a lot of Marvel Crisis Protocol stuff. I have a wonderful bag of stuff. So I got a lot of Marvel Crisis Protocol models, so we're going to be doing a lot of painting, and I'm going to be getting geared up for potentially some live events. So, you know, with things opening back up, with vaccinations happening, and people able to start gathering possibly at certain places, I'm going to be hopefully doing some live events. So I am super stoked, super excited, as always. So we'll be getting into that. So I want to get back to painting. I also have a lot of Warhammer models, so I have, like, on all fronts I got a bunch of stuff, so we need to get back to some of the roots, and then I also have some gaming stuff to do, so but I will promise that the videos will not be so late, but I figured late night Saturday, might as well give it a shot, and I need my reference up. So for folks that don't know, Ant-Man, it actually comes as a set, which is pretty cool, because the Ant-Man models are some of the first models. Where is he? Are some of the first models in the game. Oh, I'm about to crush a model in here, which I do not want to do that. But the Ant-Man models are actually pretty cool because they come with, it's the first model that starts to deal with size, so he actually can shrink. So we have both the regular size Ant-Man and the small one to paint. Let me get my reference up, and let us get started. Oh, actually, no. I said I wasn't going to do it like that. Sorry guys, I'm trying to get the chat to be up while I'm doing this, so bear with me. So I'm just going over it with a light gray. I'm going to do all of the face pieces in that light gray. Oh no, I did not want to get, that's alright. Well, what I'm going to cover it with will take care of that. So I'm going to do a lot of silver details and stuff because of course Ant-Man, if you guys are familiar with the film, the eyes on the costume are actually red, so I'll have to go in and redo that. Right now I just want to base coat this in the gray, because this area of the costume is that Silver Dome head. So I'm just gonna base it all in gray for right now, and then I'll come back. In fact, I think that, if I'm not mistaken, that back part I think is red. And then I'll come in and I'll do some of this in other colors and silver, because like I said, I'm pretty sure that some of those areas are going to be yeah, this is going to be, like, he is a very, very small model, so it is going to be interesting to paint him because a lot of the work is going to be a lot of detail work, just because of the way that the model is. Normally, I always say when I'm doing these painting videos that one of the cool things about the Marvel Crisis Protocol model is that the scale is a little bit bigger. I'm actually going to go and put on my magnifiers because I'm going to need those. I say that I always say to you guys how I really love how the models are a little bit higher scale. So usually painting them, it's a lot easier because you can just kind of go into where you need to go. But this guy he actually is small. Yeah, sometimes the humans in Marvel Crisis Protocol tend to be the smallest models, whereas most of the other characters are more on the super size because they're either like they're bigger behemoth characters or whatnot. So I'm just putting in the red in the costume because you guys remember Ant-Man has like he has the red that runs through his costume. So I'm just kind of getting some of those elements or details. I foresee myself having to redo a few of these, because where you think the red's gonna go and where the red actually goes is a little bit different. Because you have a very small margin of error on some of these borders, so it's very, very unique. And the issue that I'm going to run into, I already know, is that you have red and you have a dark gray. And I think that dark gray, if I'm not mistaken, that contrast dark gray that I'm going to use, you will see the red under it. So, like, this is one of those, like, painting projects where, I usually tell you guys about, with contrast, if you plan out your colors, you can layer it in such a way that you will in fact be able to paint through it. And it's going to be a little harder with Ant-Man because if I'm not mistaken, oh, sorry guys. Yeah, like this is all red. There's a lot of nuance to the details. There's a lot of details on him. Going back to the idea that he is a much smaller model. He's a smaller character. So it's going to be interesting to get that red in there because you got to really be nice and detailed with that. But as I say a lot with the Marvel Crisis Protocol models, you just have to paint a little bit of it. They really start to look good once you get some painting done. Oh, I'm being a little bit too conservative with that red. Apparently the ridge is red too. Okay, that's good to know. I didn't know that. Just gonna put a little bit of water on this. Okay. So I've been like avoiding that ridge. I can go red on that ridge, which I didn't know that. So I was kind of, I was trying to keep it in there, but I don't have to be that precise with it. And actually, the contrast paints, I've said it a couple of times, they are like perfect for Marvel Crisis Protocol figures. So if you guys are trying to get into the game, I do recommend getting the GW contrast paints because the colors that they have are great for superheroes, because all of the contrast colors are real bright. They're very vibrant. And they just, I don't know, they just work really well with with the paint. All right, so they're gonna be a bitch and a half. Okay, so that's red. Oh, jeez. Now I'm trying to figure out where his red aspects of his costume are, because it's weird. Because again, I should mention, this of course is the Scott Lang Ant-Man. So this is not the Ant-Man from... This is not original Ant-Man. This is the Scott Lang version of Ant-Man, who, for folks that don't know, in the comic books, which was depicted very well in the Ant-Man movie, it does in fact steal the costume. He actually steals the costume from the original Ant-Man, and when I say steal it, it's more like the original Ant-Man actually gets rid of his first costume, and actually becomes a character called Yellow Jacket, and kind of goes off the deep end. So Hank Pym in the comic books kind of lost his mind, and started to kind of be a bad guy or a violent character, because he was a pacifist, but then he created Ultron in the comic books, and that sets him off the deep end. Essentially doing some questionable things here and there. Some of which is actually like beating his wife, which is really terrible. Yeah, so you find out in the comic books, you know, not that they like completely, well, they did completely change it, but they definitely changed the storyline for Ant-Man in the Disney take of it. So they kind of really focused on Lang's story rather than the original Ant-Man story. And they kind of made him a little bit more of a noble character than a little bit more of a scummy character. Because Hank Pym, like I said, does make some questionable calls in the comic book. Because he is a man who, in some ways, does embody, like, I will say that if you watch the Ant-Man movie, the best way to describe their treatment of him is that he's an echo. It's like they have echoes of, and if you watch the first Ant-Man movie, you may catch it, but they imply a lot about Hank Pym. They imply that he, you know, definitely has or had like issues with authority, and So they definitely imply it in the Marvel treatment of it, but they don't go the whole distance. They definitely do not go completely into it. And I would say they do paint Hank Pym as a more noble character than he is in the comic books. So they definitely do a few of those things where they make him a little bit more of a good character. All right. Are we saying that's black? No, I think I'm gonna. Oh, sorry, I'm doing that off camera, guys. I apologize. Sorry, I'm trying to get a better reference. So I'm like trying to. Alright, so I think my initial idea, we're going to see how this looks, but I think my initial idea is the right way to go. Again, it's not traditional Ant-Man. I think I know the way I want to go with this. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, yeah, that's the right way to go. Is the black, and then we'll do highlights in the black. And I'm using a thin brush because there's a lot of like channels to go into, and I want to make sure that I hit all the coloring correct for where I'm going, and that I don't accidentally go into an area that I know has to be done a certain way. And like I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this so this gave me, I found the side view of it, which gave me a little bit more detail. Whoops. And now this is great because I'm going to use black, so if I go a little too crazy with the red, I can cover that up with the black really, really easily. And if you guys are liking what you're seeing, please consider following the channel. And I like to give a big shout out to Undiscovered Realms, which is where I got all of my paints and models from. They are awesome guys. And stay tuned because I'm going to be doing some gameplay videos as well. Okay, we're just going to tidying up that border. While we're on the subject of the red, let me... Yeah, as you guys see me getting these different areas of him... Oh, jeez. Of him in red, you'll start to see him really start to pop. Because already you can see, like, the black and red combination, it looks really good. And it's going to start to make him look more and more. Because, you know, sometimes for me, you know, you definitely see the same motif on it. And you're like, oh, okay. That makes sense that it should be red. But I like to double check because, again, since this is modeled more after the movie, the movie version of him. Same thing there. You guys can see there's an overhang. I am gonna paint that red for right now. Because I think it should be red, because I think it's on that same shape. I could be super wrong, and the nice thing, like I said before, is since I'm painting this in black, I can go over those really, really easy once they dry, because the black will cover up any imperfection I had. And then all the shoes are going to be black. Those straps are all going to be black. So we're going to go all through that. And we're going to leave all the instrumentation on his belt because I want to... But you can see as I get that black in there, it's going to start to really, really pop. The rest of his costume. Now I'm going to triple check the side of him. To make sure that what looks like a division is not in fact another area that has to be painted in red, because I have this sneaking suspicion that it probably does. Just based off of the rest of the colors that are there, it just doesn't fit right in my head. So I'm going to be cautious and just kind of go in smoothly So I'm kind of painting paneling on him. And then from there, I can start to figure out what needs to be painted black, what doesn't need to be painted black. And I'm going to go a little lighter on the black. And then I'll come in with more of it because so far it looks right. If you look at where I've painted it in. But then there's parts of it, like I'm just kind of looking and being like, all right, objectively, like, because like I said, he's got a lot of detail, so I don't want to go too crazy with it, because if I'm wrong, black is a tough color to get out of. And then what I do want to do, just really quick, is I want to take that red and get I like these brushes, or I like this brush, but my only issue with it is that it gets very, it's so long that I can sometimes miss where I want to go. So I'll apply a better coat. Because again, my goal is to come back into the face and do some more stuff. So yeah, it's I actually have to do a little better job. Oh, that is not what I wanted to do. Yeah, because now what I effectively did was the opposite of what I wanted to do. I wanted to get more area so it looked a little bit more shocking, but actually that worked out pretty well. Because now it's like sitting in there better. You know, I talk about this a lot. Sometimes the magnifiers, they're great, but they throw off my like ability. So that looks so much better, and that looks more accurate to what I was trying to do. And you can see the minute I do that, he's like banging coming alive. Like, he looks so much better. And then the other thing I want to do, and it's interesting, I didn't think I was going to use this tiny brush for like a lot of this, but it's actually working out really well. So I want to redo that. Okay. See, this is where the magnifiers like really pay off, because I can be very, very meticulous and just really get in there and just block out this red really nicely. And then in some of my shortcomings, which are going to be areas like this, you know, I can go through and get that trim. Or like up here, and what's nice is with the black, let's say that red slightly goes on top of that black, you won't see it. Because the black is so dark that pretty much everything you put on top of it doesn't show up. Very nice. And if you guys have questions while we're painting, I always tell you guys, please throw them out there. Please check out what, you know, I love helping people that have stuff on their painting tables that they're trying to get done, and they want to get some information and know-how and like how to do it. And if you're seeing this after we were live, consider following us so you can know when we're live. So you could be here when we're actually on. And like I said, I promise I will start doing videos a little bit more on earlier slots and times. It's always challenging when you have characters kneeling, because you got to get and I'm using this I am using someone's reference more so for referencing the costume. So I know exactly like where the red, where the black, where everything falls. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting little crevices in this model. And it's funny too, because I'm like, oh, Ant-Man he'll be maybe a little bit easier than some of the other Marvel Crisis Protocol models I painted. And boy was I wrong on that one. Like, I was super wrong on that one. He is not easy at all. He's got quite a lot of complexity to him. Quite a lot of stuff going on. So he is nowhere near as much of a walk in the park as I was led to believe. But that, you know what? That's awesome, because I love when when some of the models are challenging like this, because it's nice, especially when you have, like in my case, because I literally bought probably another like 10 models. Um, so again, I'm just really taking that idea of trying to break up some nice colors. So he's not just like he's not basically all one color. I don't want to just make him black and red. Um, that is going to be the larger color scheme by far. But I thought it would be interesting to have him have a little bit more diversity. And what I'm doing now is I'm just trying to get that nice color in there. So I like this idea of him having like a darker gray undertone under there. So there's like a little bit of intrigue, and then we're going to make his helmet have the silver bits. Like I said before, so you can see how nice that looks now, because we have this nice breakup of color where we have the black coming into the red. We have this like kind of nice cool gray that's starting to come into there. So it looks like he's got a little bit of like equipment, mechanics. I'm just kind of emphasizing that with this black that's going to go around. Just going to keep going around with the black. You can see so we're going to get this all to be black. Probably going to have to do a little bit of But you can see just how nice it's starting to look. And if I'm getting any of the colors wrong, the nice part is, like I said, that black is such a good concealant that if I have to go back in and start playing with those colors, I can. All right. Like I said, guys, if you like what you see, please consider following the channel. So I'm just sorry, guys. I did that completely off camera. I am so sorry. As always, I'm just finding little areas that I have to repaint. And I may change my mind, but for right now, I do like the direction that this Ant-Man's going in. So what I'm trying to figure out is I'm trying to figure out that middle, like, cod piece. So I'm trying to... Because, again, this is another one of those areas where it really wants to be painted red, the trim, and I didn't do the trim all the way there because I was being conservative with it. So I was trying to wrap my head around, like, what parts of him needed to be painted black. Because, like I said, black is that tough color to come back to. So if, like, I mess up on that black, I'm going to be definitely, like, wanting to fix that for all eternity. So figure while I had some extra black, I just go in and do those outlines, because that's what's cool about the contrast. You can go back over and start darkening places, which is really cool. So all I'm doing now is really just connecting. It's basically what I already painted, so it comes back around. Like I said, pretty sure that's going to be black like everything else. I'm just being, like, so superly overly cautious. Because, like I said, black is sort of the one of those colors. Not that it's a point of no return, because I could always just go get white and over it and then redo it. But it's just not a color I want to mess with in the regards of, like, having to redo it. It's just gonna be a pain in the butt. But there's just like areas that I know I have to paint black. So I'm just going in and like doing those now. Because it's also just like logic. Like, if you're going to paint a certain area, a certain color, like, you know the pants leg has to continue to be black. So, and you can see already he's really coming along. Like, I might not have done some of the other colors yet, but and it's funny because I don't know if you guys have been doing this, but I definitely have. I just rewatched Endgame, and I love that movie, and of course, love all of the Ant-Man moments in that movie because he has such good lines in that movie, and I love the ongoing jokes of just him not, of him like trying to insist that movies are like depicting time travel accurately, and all the scientist characters in the movie are just like, that's not how time travel works, and like, and basically are just spewing out the a lot of the paradox theories that time travel has. It's like, of the whole idea of like, if you were to travel back in time, like, the paradox of, if you fix something, you would the cause and effect. If you fix something, you would never go back to fix it because your new future would have that fixed in it already. So it could not exist. Because you, the time traveler, would not. So just taking that standpoint with it, which I think is hilarious. And, again, all of the non-scientific characters in the film, keep having these very, like, real commentary on it, which is like, and it's interesting because they're playing on two things, which I think are really cool, which is the theory. So there's like two theories that are really at work there, which is there's like a time traveling theory and actually technically a philosophy theory, which I think is what's really cool about it. So the philosophy theory is the idea of, if an entire group of people believe something. So the concept of, if we as a group agree on something, then we've the concept that we've made that into reality now. So even if we all looked at each other and we committed to believing in something that had no basis, it had no scientific basis, it had no proof, but we as a group have decided we're all going to believe in this. Well, then the concept of that philosophy theory is that, well, because we as a mass believe in it, that we've now therefore made it reality. So the idea that just a group of people deciding something is real is you creating your own reality. And I say that it's at work in that film because when Rhodey and Paul Rudd are like in a comedic way, saying that, like, well, every movie that's ever been made about time travel, like, says this, so therefore it's a fact. It's a known fact that time travel is going to work this way. So, you know, it's a very funny joke, and I love the joke of the movie, but it's cool because you don't realize it the first time you watch it, but it's literally a philosophical and scientific argument. And it's also, one could say it's an argument of believing in something versus scientific proof of something, which is an argument that lots of people have all the time. So what I'm doing now is I'm just tidying up those edges. So what hopefully you guys are starting to see, if I can put the model actually in camera, which I've done like 17 times now the wrong way. What you hopefully are starting to see is you should start to see our Ant-Man, no pun intended, come a little bit more into focus. Sorry. Like I said, I don't know why, but I'm doing such a bad job of showing you guys this model tonight. Oh my god. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. So what I'm trying to figure out is like where the seams of everything are. Because what should start to happen, and what I think is happening, is as I get those seams nailed down, you should start to see a nice smooth paint job. Because you won't see any gaps in the paint. Because I always tell people, that, the quote-unquote curse of the white model that's primed is that you see all of those imperfections when you paint. And so, we continue to see them all the time. Just take a look at the reference. So I think my plan is right. Which is, I just want to paint this in gray right now, and then I'll go in and I'll emphasize more of it. So this, the Griffin Charger gray will do a lot of my work for me. But I'm going to do this for right now. because you'll see if we pop it on there, it's gonna do a lot of the work for me. And then I can go in and you know, pop in some highlights, some other stuff, which will help. You know, I said it before, because the contrast colors are so well balanced and they just work really well for the Marvel characters. I don't always have to go crazy like doing a lot of touch-ups with this stuff. Because literally like one pass of this can sometimes be all I need. Ow. So what I'm doing now is I'm just going over those edges so that I have a nice transition from the I'm going to cheat a little bit. So you can see, it looks pretty good. I don't think we're going to keep that there, but I wanted to just see. Just wanted to try it out. Yeah. Actually, I do like that because it. Yeah, I do actually. I really do like how this is coming out. I made a decision on this. Yeah, that should be. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to. Yeah, for some reason. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to. Sometimes with the contrast paints, especially if it's an area that's like very bumpy, it like pulls weird on there. So I have to like play a little bit more on like what's going on. Yeah, I wanna darken that because that's distracting from that. There we go. Now it looks Yeah, now it looks good. And then we're just gonna put a little bit more black right on that edge. That's a little bit more crisp. But you guys can see where we're going. So already looks so good. And I'll obviously, like I said, I'll do highlights on this. So we'll do highlights into that black, which is going to make it look even better. So we're just going in there. So you can see I'm just trying to get that uniform, nice paint. So we have a nice clean paint in there, and then we can start adding in some other highlights. And if you guys have questions or comments, I always like to add those in. So if you guys are liking what you're seeing on the paint, consider following the channel. And again, I want to do a big shout out to Undiscovered Realms, who hooks me up with all of my models and all of my painting stuff. You can see a link to them on my Instagram, on my Twitch channel. They are awesome guys. They have all kinds of cool stuff. They got tabletop stuff. They got Funko stuff. They got trading card stuff. Vintage toys, collectibles. They ship anywhere in the United States. So give them a holler. Take a look at their website. And they're getting all new stuff. They actually just started to officially carry Marvel Crisis Protocol. So if you guys are interested in learning more about this particular game and getting your hands on some of these models and pieces, they are going to be your one-stop shop to do that. So, and hopefully, if things continue to move in a positive direction, I'll be working with them to do some live events in the area, so you'll be able to come and learn how to play. I love this game because it's got two amazingly cool things. It is very easy to learn, so the rules are simple, easy to play, and what I love is the models are cheap, so you can get these amazing, awesome sculpt models and have them, which is great. And something like this, which is, so this was the Ant-Man and Wasp 2-pack. So you got the Wasp and Ant-Man, which I'll be painting the Wasp as well. You also got the mini models of them, because they were one of the first characters that, obviously, which makes a lot of sense for their characters, could do, they can change size. So they have ability to change size. So you have models that represent that, which was very cool. So you effectively, in the box, got 4 models for, not even $30. So, much different than some of the other games out there. So it is definitely worth the money, uh, worth the investment. And what I love about this game too is that you only need like 4 or 5 characters to start playing, and you can mix and match your characters, so you can have bad guys, good guys, all on the same team. Um, so you can really play with the dynamic. So I just kind of did that silver. I did that. That gray really is just a primer. Because my intention was always to obviously go over the helmet with a silver. Because for folks that don't know, his helmet is all metal and all silver. So, but I wanted to give it that great treatment first to both break up the colors and to give something translucent, because the metallic paints, which this is Leadbelcher silver that I'm using, all of those paints are the metals are translucent, so it's nice to have an undercarriage or an undertone. And I'll have to do a little bit of staining on that undertone to make it look good. So now, of course, he's looking a lot more Ant-Man-ish. So you guys will see, I'm not going after all of the stuff is silver. I'm only taking certain aspects of it and making it silver, because I want to keep some of the gray so it looks like mechanical parts. So it also just, like, I don't know, gives the helmet sorry, I'm just like, I'm trying to look at the model to be like, trying to find where else I should do the silver. But now that's looking real boss. Like, I love how that looks now. And I would love to know what you guys think, too. Oh, sorry. So I hope you guys are digging what we're doing here. And like I said, I might do I was thinking about it as I was doing it. I'm like, I don't want to do all of it in silver, but I like doing certain aspects of it in silver. Because like I said, I do like having that color there. I'm just going to put a little bit of silver. I don't think he actually does have this on his costume. you know, I tell people all the time that when I do these, I like use the color scheme that's suggested, but I usually change it around a little bit because I like I want it to have like I want it to be mine. So I want it to look like something a little bit different than the norm. Because if I just did the norm, then it would be like boring. Ooh. Interesting. This brush is like really dense and bad. Okay. Hopefully I can salvage this because that just like applied real weird. Okay. So what I was trying to do was apply this to the rock, but I don't know if I like this color for rocks. This yeah, this is like really weird. Yeah, that's okay. I don't really like this for the rock. Yeah, it's getting. I think I'm starting to probably have to get a new tube of this paint. I thought it'd be cool to have him have that color because it would offset the colors that I used in the figure, but let me just clean my brush out a little bit better. Maybe maybe this brush just didn't get completely clean the last time I used it, so it just like acted a little bit weird. Okay, that was really weird. There's a lot of junk in this brush. I'm just gonna water this down a little bit more. So I'm gonna just do like a watery, lighter tone for the rest of this. But yeah, because it was the reason I was going for this color was because, as you guys will see now that I got the whole thing, is that I had used that gray on his boots. So I don't want to use that same gray. And I like using that. I'm a big fan of using the other gray for down here. Like I like using it for the sidewalk. It matches all my other figures because I did them all that way. And like I said, if you guys are finding this interesting and want to learn more and have some fun and see the other models that I'll be painting, because I'll be doing GW stuff, more Marvel Crisis Protocol stuff, consider following the channel. So put a follow down. And if you're already following and you already support us, thank you so much for your support and being with us. It's always helpful when you guys are here live with us. I always appreciate it. And like I said, I promise I will stop doing videos at like 1 in the morning. And we will do more normal videos. It's just been a whirlwind of like just getting tired and stuff. But I'm actually pretty impressed. I think I almost painted, like we've only been doing this for an hour, and I almost painted an entire figure. Like, besides highlighting, which I want to do next, he's pretty much done. Which I think is kind of crazy. I don't know what it is. Like I said, the Marvel Crisis Protocol models just they have this ability with me that I don't have to like work too hard, and I can get them done really fast. Nice. We're probably gonna benchmark it here, so we'll have a little bit to finish up on him. And you can see just every time I get those hinges all like I'll get some white in there. You'll see once we put the white in there, or a little bit of white, it'll have that twinkle. It will look awesome. But again, for a Marvel Crisis, for a figure, I am super psyched. You guys can see we did those great. So like I said, this is going to be a good stopping point for this one. Again, I'm just mesmerized that in an hour and 16 minutes I almost finished Ant-Man. Like I said, just a little bit of, I'm going to do a little bit of highlighting on him. You know, definitely do a little bit more here and there. I might bring out some more silver bits here and there for him. But I am pretty amazed at how fast that was. And then this should be pretty quick, although it is going to be interesting because yeah, it is a very it is a very small figure, so I'm gonna see how I want to economize that paint. But I may go in with darker colors for that now that I'm thinking about it. But I am really like, oh, I gotta paint red on the back of that. So I have a little touch-ups here and there, but ew. And I guess I could do white there, because technically if I'm gonna do that color scheme, or I'm gonna do the gray there, I really should emulate on the other side where that is. So I can just put white in there to get that redone. But like I said, very good looking and very cool. And you'll see, well, like I said, a little bit of highlighting here and there, not much. And it just shows the power of the contrast paints too, because you can get something very table ready with a couple of little tricks very quickly with the contrast, and you're ready to go. Like, again, from a standpoint of like perfection, not perfect, but definitely if I was going to play this on a table, like not bad to get on the table to start playing. All right, well, thank you guys for watching as always. I wanted to thank again our sponsor, Undiscovered Realms, for this video. Again, please check them out. You can check a link below. You can also check out my website, my Patreon, and our other social media links. The website and Patreon are other great ways to support the channel. That money goes to me being able to get the equipment and things I need. It's for me to be able to elevate and bring a higher level of content to you guys, and hopefully get my dream of doing this on a more full-time basis for you all. And again, I will try to work on getting my videos earlier, so we will have videos not at 12 and 1 and all these like weird times. So thank you guys for watching as always, and please stay safe, wash your hands, and give vaccination a try. Vaccinating makes it safe. It gets us to more normalcy quicker, and hopefully gets a lot of us gamers out there back to a world where we can play some board games with our friends and tabletop fun. So take care, everybody. We'll see you very soon. And as always, bye-bye. I'll see you at the next video.